And that should be us live. Hello everybody and welcome to a sort of live review of Gangs of Sherwood. This is going to be something slightly different. I've actually already beaten this game and I'm using my actual camera as well, so you have all this beautiful HD. I have my my little Christmas tree thing up there. But yes, Gangs of Sherwood, pretty interesting game. It's a double A DMs, like Devil May Cry like co-op game, and it has a decent combat system, but there's quite a bit of jank to it. It feels like, say, 75% there, the combat system. And then, like, the last 25%, it just never really reaches. But I was surprised that the game actually feels pretty decent to play. You have 4 characters to choose from, which I played 1. And the ranged character is actually viable, which usually in games like this they aren't. But I played as the ranger. And the combat system as the ranger was actually quite satisfying. And there was quite a couple of quite a few combos that I could use. I would have preferred if there was a couple more combos, to be honest. Eventually, you just fall into doing all the same stuff. You know, you're using the exact same combo systems, and you can upgrade your character and get more combos as you go along. But eventually, you just get all the combos. Now, the game is quite short, so there are quite a couple of caveats when it comes to this game, because it's like you have to expect double-A jank, which there is double-A jank. The story itself is absolutely, like, completely uninteresting and useless, which I don't really care. I don't mind, to be honest. It's a co-op character action game. You don't need a story. Voice acting is, like, hit or miss, and the graphics at points look pretty decent. Some points it looks good, but it's generally just, like, a completely passable thing. It's kind of set in this Robin Hood world where you have these... It's almost like a mixture of World War II or World War I, more like, mixed with medieval fantasy, and then you kind of have a bit of steampunk kind of in there. And some of the enemy designs are really nice, which I like. There's specific enemies that, and this is why it's cool. It's set in sort of like a steampunky fantasy world, but some of the enemies look like World War I soldiers, like they have the gas masks and the World War I helmets on, which is really cool. So, as I said, I've already beaten this game, so how I'm going to do this now is that's sort of like the review portion of it. I mean, I just kind of wanted to give something at the start so you get my general thoughts, and then we'll actually jump into the game. So I have beaten it, and I'm going to start from level 1 and just run through it for a bit. I don't want to show off too much because the game isn't out yet, so I'll probably do, say, maybe the first act, or the first, like, chapter, which has 3 acts in it. And I'm going to play as a different character to test out the combat system. So now, if everything is working good, I should just be able to flip over like this. And there we go. We have the gameplay now in the background as well. I actually want to close my camera thing because that's going to get distracting. So in my full playthrough, I played as Robin of Locksley, which I assume is Robin Hood. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting from this game. And then the other 3 characters are melee characters, which I haven't tried out yet. So I'm kind of torn between who I'm going to play as. This guy has, like, fists, and he's probably quite useful, probably quite fun. This big fecker, I'm not really a fan of heavy characters, so I don't think I'll play as him. I actually need to lower down this audio in my ears because this is very loud. And then Maid Marian, she sort of has a rapier of sorts, so she's probably going to be a bit more agile, which is a kind of character that I would realistically want to play as. So that's who I'm going to play as. And as you go along, you unlock new abilities, which I will show off. So I think the main drawback of this game, I'm not really one for having super long games. Games don't need to be long. They really do not need to be long for me whatsoever. But this game is arguably too short. I think, let me see, what does my PlayStation say? How long does my PlayStation say I've put into this game? 5 hours, and I've beaten it. So it's quite short. Now, there's a small bit of replayability. I won't jump into any of the sort of upgrading systems here because that'll probably show off some certain spoilery stuff. But here's the game here. You have this hub world, which I could see, hopefully, maybe in the future, they add in more content as you go along down the line. And there's some sort of platforming, sort of exploration sections. The missions are quite linear, which I think is the right way to do it. And it's like, this game isn't bloated. It doesn't get in your way. It just kind of lets you play the game that it wants you to play. I also figured out later on down the line that there's a side quests, which I never even realized. So, yeah. And all the side quests are like, kill, like there. Get 15 takedowns. Okay, that's brilliant. So we go in here, and this is where you choose your missions. I won't jump into anything. I'm just going to go mission 1. Another thing I will say about this game is that it's too easy. On heroic difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty, I died a couple of times, but it was still fairly easy, and on normal difficulty, the game is too easy. So we'll start and do heroic with the new character, and we'll see how this goes. So it's very, like, streamlined, which I do like, and the missions are linear. It's similar enough to sort of, if you played Evil West last year, that was sort of a AA, sort of PS3 era kind of game. This is exactly what this game reminds me of, a very PS3 style game. And you have these cool little cutscenes when you're loading into levels, which is cool. How's it going, Gonzo? Yeah, I have my little tree up. I think it adds to it. I was gonna buy a little tree. I was gonna buy an actual Christmas tree, but that's just a random tree that lights up that Siobhan's mom had, so I took it. And there's like, it's all about sheriffs of Nottingham. Like, I think this is set in Nottingham, if that means anything to anybody. But yeah. So I'll show you off the missions here. They're pretty fun. As I said, they're linear, which I think is exactly what you want for this sort of a game. To be honest, I don't think you need fancy mission structures for an action RPG. If the combat system is fun, that's all it needs. I mean, when I think of even games like Devil May Cry, some of the missions kind of get a bit interesting, but the majority of the missions are quite linear. And as you go through, all the characters speak to each other. And the audio or the voice acting is like it's passable. It's passable voice acting. I wouldn't say it's too, like, it's awful. And like, here's where the game sort of looks, you know, pretty decent. When you have these like vistas off in the distance, the game actually does look quite good. And some of these actually get really good later down the line. You get some really nice vistas. But like, yeah, like you can see, game looks pretty decent. I mean, if you zoom in on stuff, you'll realize that the character models aren't too great. And when you're talking to NPCs, their animations aren't good. But I don't really think, again, that matters. And as you go around the levels, you find wanted posters and prisoners to free, which kind of give you a little incentive to explore. To be honest, I don't really know what they do. I haven't exactly figured that out. And here's the World War I style soldiers that I was talking about. So, okay, so I've been playing Batman Arkham, so my buttons are... I was pressing square to attack there and nothing was happening. So as you can see, you have like a DMC style rating. And there is a parry system, which I'm not sure if I have unlocked on this character. I did have the parry unlocked on the last character. And but the parry wasn't good. That was one thing I have written down in my notes. And here's another thing. You get these finishers that are kind of more annoying than anything else because they take you out of the world and then plop you in like a predetermined background, which kind of, I don't know, to be honest, it's a bit jarring, so I don't really use them. I mean, I have a quest to use them, so I will be using them just to finish off the quest, but...
Did he lose his mind? It's payback for spitting on the tax bill.
Fool. Dead folks don't pay taxes. We must lead the survivors to Sherwood Forest, alive.
There, I just wanted to shut up and let you listen to somebody. I'll try to do that when they're talking. I'll try stop, even if I'm in the middle of a point, I'll just try stop it so you can hear them. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, this game did surprise me. It's published by Nacon, who have a pretty sort of muddied history with publishing games, because they publish some games that come out and are okay, like maybe even, you might even say, good. I mean, just recently they published the RoboCop game, which I know a lot of people were going mad about. I've never seen RoboCop, so I didn't even try to review it, because, I mean, I don't really think I'd have much to add to it. But that game does genuinely look fun, and by all accounts, it seems they understand the source material, which is a massive thing. But Okay, and here's my special ability, which I haven't used yet, but we'll see what it does. I assume... Let me see. I actually should learn this character, because each character has some specific, like, unique abilities. It's not just like everyone has a heavy and light attack. Every character does have a heavy and light attack, but what like Robin Hood character with the bow, every time I would finish a combo, it would spawn an arrow that would float in the air. And I think I could have like 8 of them going at any given time. And then if I do another charged up attack, it will then unleash all of them on the enemies. And it seems that I have something similar here. So let me actually have a look here. Okay, magnetic dagger. How do I... Can I view techniques? Yes. Oh, so... Okay, well, I just learned that I now... Since I've unlocked all the other combos for my last character, I have them all on this character as well. So they're all this... Are they all the same? I don't think they are, no. Hey, let's see. R1, R1, R1. So all of mine are just R1, and then I have a 3 R2 combo. But as I was saying about Nacon, but then Nacon also published that werewolf. To be honest, I can't even remember the name of the game. It was Werewolf something. It was set in the same what's that? Like the World of Darkness, the Vampire the Masquerade world. Werewolf something Bloodlines. Let me see, I have to look that up because that's going to annoy me. Werewolf game. Oh, well, there actually is a game called Werewolf. Werewolf game, Nacon. Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. Okay, I was I was a bit off. But yeah, that game was pretty crap, to be honest. It seemed like a game that could have been good, but it just did not. It just didn't flesh out anything. The story was not interesting. The combat was like passable, but it never really it wasn't utilized very well. And then it felt like the game was sort of like it was a linear story game, or it was like a decent open world game, or a game that could have been a decent open world game that was trapped in a linear story game, and it just didn't work for me. Whereas if it was more something like Man-Eater, but had you played as a werewolf, then I think that game actually would have been pretty decent, but it wasn't. So yeah, that's Nacon. Like what other games do Nacon publish? Oh, well, Nacon published Lord of the Rings Gollum, so yeah, there you go. I think that's everything you need to know. Ad Infinitum, which was supposed to be pretty decent. Oh, they published Raven's Watch, Blood Bowl, Hunting Simulator 2. So like they have like a couple of games that did well, and then just some well, I mean, Lord of the Rings Gollum is that was an absolute atrocity of a game. Let's be honest, that was disgraceful. How that game ever came out, I don't know. Okay, we have to go attack this guy first. Okay, I need to learn how to summon my daggers. Can I do that like just by myself, or do I need my ability? So yeah, it's like you can cancel animations by dodging, which is, I think, goes a long way into making a combat system feel like very fluid, because you don't feel like you're locked into the crap. Okay, so like I'll show off, like there's the finishers again. They just feel very, very I don't know, since they take you out of it, and I understand that probably the reason behind it was that maybe they attempted to make the finishers out in like the area that you were in, but then it just caused a lot of glitches and problems, which, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. And this is when it kind of gets into the weird sort of, I don't know, steampunk magic kind of stuff. But yeah, as you can see, these were, I was highlighting this earlier, but these enemies with the sort of the purple eyes and the World War I mixed with sort of medieval fantasy kind of thing is actually really cool. I do like it. So like I'm playing on the hardest I know this is the first level and all that, but like I'm playing on the hardest difficulty here, and it's just never really hard. And also how the game works is you get one revive in every level. I assume if you're playing co-op, which I didn't get to test out, you'll be able to revive your teammates, but I can't obviously since I'm playing solo. But I assume that since you get 1 life, and then if you die, which happened to me once, regardless of how far you are into the level, you have to restart the level. And some of these levels could be like, you know, 25, 30 minutes long, and you could be like 25 minutes in and then die and then have to go all the way back to the start, which is a bit annoying, but... And then you have this sort of grappling hook that gives you some sort of platforming elements. And then also there's stuff in... There's areas and levels that only certain characters can, like, traverse, which is kind of a cool idea, I guess. But it kind of feels like you're just missing out on things. The real question is, how the fuck do I get to that chest over there? Oh, it's probably through an alleyway around there, maybe. But yeah, is anybody interested in this game? Because these are the sort of games that just kind of come and go, and nobody really pays attention to them, which is a shame, because some of these can be good. That's what this channel is for, is trying to figure this out. Okay, aim, dagger, toss. Oh, okay, well, I haven't been using this character right then. Oh, yeah, I see.
Wounded comrades from the battlefield were treated here.
See, because I noticed that it's like I understood how to play as... Ah, okay. Okay, so these are like the abilities I was talking about earlier. So if I throw these daggers here, and like... And then it's L2 and R2. Yeah, okay. So I can like summon how many daggers on one enemy? Let's see. Oh, 8. Okay, 8 is the most, and then I throw this dagger at them, and then they attack. Okay, cool. And then when I have my special ability out, then they just constantly go on them. Yeah, so now I'm actually starting to rack up good combos. And again, like another thing on like the sort of difficulty of the game, it definitely is pretty easy to get high combos. Like I got an A rank there, and a lot of the missions I was getting S ranks when I played it with the archer character. So it's relatively easy to get at least an A rank. Maybe S ranks are... I didn't get an S rank in all the levels, but it's easy enough to get them. Anyway. I wonder if there's a way for me to be able to trigger this. Oh crap, okay, I can't pause. Actually, I think well, I don't know, maybe. I was thinking on what I might do is actually... Ah, welcome, Ryan. How's it going? I think I might try out the other characters as well, maybe. Maybe do one act each, because I could just kind of talk through the game. Like, again, I don't want to show off too much of the game. So, yeah, I think I'll do this act and then do the next act as another character. I know I won't fully get to grips with sort of like their toolkit and all that, but I'll be able to talk through the game itself. It's like even like the boss fights as well were very easy, especially because with the sort of the ranged character with the arrows that I was using, that you can like basically do the same thing here where you can lock on and like hit them with a lot of one thing at once. It was like very easy just to build up your arrows and then like take half of a boss's health bar in like an instant. Again, it's not a bad game. It's like, this is a game that I'd recommend, but there's like an asterisk on it, you know? Maybe, I don't know, I think this might be a €50 game. I don't actually know. Because I think I can get the Steam, the price of it on Steam, but when it, but Steam prices are different to console prices usually. Yeah, Red Dead on the Switch is a good port. I played a good 10 hours of that. And then I stopped. As I do with Rockstar games. That's just how I go with Rockstar games. I played them for like a lot in the first 10 hours, and then eventually I just kind of fall off them. It's like I can really appreciate the quality of Rockstar games, but I can also admit that they're just not exactly for me. I mean, I've beaten a lot of them. Like, I've beaten Vice City. I've beaten San Andreas. I've beaten GTA 5. I played maybe 10, 15 hours maximum of Red Dead 1. And Red Dead 2, I put like 50 or 60 hours in. And then just gave up. And again, it's not because, like, they're bad. It's just like, I don't know. I just kind of get fed up with them eventually. So, at some points in these levels, you get these sort of, like, non-linear sections, I guess. And usually, you just kind of find treasure chests around if you explore. And the treasure chests give you money, which, how this game works, can you see up the top left, it says, my gang power. I think that gives you more maximum damage across a mission. If I'm correct. Oh, well, here's the chest I was looking at earlier. And obviously, more damage you deal is better. But the only thing is that if you die, you have to use money to revive yourself or restart the mission. And then your money is then used later down the line to upgrade your character. And yes, it definitely is, Rylan, a double A sort of DMC game. It's fully 1 to 4 player online co-op as well, which is pretty cool. I haven't been able to test out the co-op, so I don't know. It could absolutely shit the bed like that. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, if it did shit the bed. But obviously, I can't really talk about the co-op because I just haven't played it. But it's a fun game. I definitely had fun. Now, again, obviously, I got a code, so I didn't have to pay money for it. I don't think it's the sort of game that, like, there's certain AA games that are like, oh yeah, this is fantastic, like, buy this. Like, I genuinely think a game like Man-Eater is a AA game that's like, if you like sort of open world games, Man-Eater is like a AA game that I was like, yeah, just buy it, because it's just stupid fun. You're playing as a shark, doing random open world objectives. That's very fun. But this is the kind of game that's like, if you want sort of a bit of like a PS3 era charm kind of game, you know, a bit of jank, like the combat actually does feel pretty good, like it does. There's also some environmental things in combat which I kind of wish the game used more. But it's like you have to take into account that the game is kind of short, that the game is kind of easy, and also the enemy variety isn't like the worst thing in the world, but it's by no means the best thing in the world. Like, it leaves a fair bit to be desired when it comes to enemy variety, because eventually you're just fighting the same enemies like all the time.
That boat is already packed with innocent civilians. Cover us while we cut the moorings. You heard the man. Let's get to it. Please help. We need more time to.
I have my white girl bottle that I robbed off my girlfriend. They're just handy to drink from, especially when you have COVID, because I had COVID for a week there, and it was rough. Just absolutely knocked the bejesus out of me for a while. I was just dead. Okay, let's start throwing some crap. Oh, the ranged lads are very annoying in this game. Okay, I have a quest to do, finishing moves. So has anybody been keeping up with Immortals of Avium? So I don't know if not that many people watched the video, but it's I did a video of like games that no one really talked about, and Immortals of Avium was on it, because that game apparently potentially sold less than 100,000 copies, and that game had I'd imagine a relatively high budget, because it's Unreal Engine 5. It uses a lot of mocap, has a couple of actors in it, like mainstream actors, and yeah, it seems like a game that would have had like a decent enough budget. It wasn't something that was made for like, you know, like 5 million euro or something. I wouldn't imagine so anyway. But now the game has been heavily discounted to 50% off. It's gotten a demo. And also, which is, I think, the strangest thing about this whole situation, is that they got Mr. Beast to do like an ad placement in one of his videos to promote the game, which is just absolutely insane. Like, I can only imagine how much money you have to pay Mr. Beast to promote for an ad. Because his videos literally get like, what, like 100 million views plus every single video? And I think some of them like end up with like 250 and even more sometimes. So think of how much money that would cost. See, there's sometimes things you can do to kind of make the combat encounters that bit easier on you. Every now and again, I still press square to attack though, because I'm playing Batman Arkham. I finished Arkham Asylum for the first time ever, and I started City today. Arkham City. I never beat Arkham Asylum before. I've tried it a lot, but yeah, I enjoyed the game. It's still a very good game, but I think I have loads of problems with it. But then I started playing Arkham City. I was like, oh yeah, I love this game. Because Arkham City was the first proper game I can remember playing on my first ever gaming PC. That was like, wasn't really a gaming PC. It was basically over here in Ireland we have I think they're in England as well. There's a retailer called Curry's and PC World, and their own brand was a brand called Advent. So I had an Advent PC that had no graphics card in it, which I then eventually bought a graphics card and played Batman Arkham City on it. And that was my first like proper gaming PC game. So I have very fond memories of that. So here is the first boss. But they do the thing where like the majority of the bosses just become normal enemies later down the line, which I don't really know if I like, because I don't know, it just kind of makes the bosses just not feel very special. And this is when sort of the boss fights is when you realize that some of the voice acting in this game is just not good, like whatsoever. Okay, here we go. We'll try, we'll just try pump them full of these daggers. ASAP. Do I deal much damage? Oh, God. I don't think I like this character, to be honest. I don't know. She's not really clicking with me. The Robin Hood character, though, I love. I really... being like how they intertwine sort of ranged attacks with melee damage is actually really fun. So here, like, I'm getting an S rank here pretty easily on this boss, and he doesn't really seem to want to attack me, which I mean, I'm not really going to complain about, but it certainly doesn't make for a fun boss fight. Oh, that was only getting rid of his fucking shield. Oh no, he's dead. Is he? Yes. Okay, so Rylan played Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is absolutely fantastic. And Tetris Effect is also fantastic. That game made me cry in VR. Sleep, welcome. Beat Mario Wonder over Thanksgiving weekend. Great recommendation. Well, Sleep, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that recommending Mario Wonder was like me being an absolute genius and recommending a hidden gem of a game to you. It's pretty easy to recommend a Mario game, especially Mario Wonder, because that game is genuinely fantastic. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. What's next? What's going to be next on your list, Sleep? Is it going to be Gangs of Sherwood? Also, you refunded your PS Portal. Sleep, I actually fucking love my PS Portal. So over here in Ireland, the whole country, they just did not supply the Republic of Ireland with any PS Portals. Like Curry's and PC World, which are an English retailer that were selling them in the UK, didn't get any. Smiths, which is an Irish company, were selling them in the UK, but not in Ireland. Like, not in the Republic, even though they are a Republic of Ireland company. So the PS Portal was very scarce here, so I had to drive up to Northern Ireland, which is technically in the UK, to get a PS Portal. So it was like a 3-hour round trip. And then the next day, I had COVID. So I was sick for about a week, and for about 3 days, I didn't have any energy to actually use the Portal because I was that dead. But then eventually I was kind of getting a bit better where I had a small bit of energy. So then I started playing a lot of my Portal, and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, the problem is with the Portal Sleep is that it really does all depend on like your broadband, like, because, and I don't even think it's your speed. I think it's to do with like, I don't understand it, but I think it's also to do with like your bandwidth, and then also like your proximity to the connection, and then if your PlayStation is wired or not, and then obviously what sort of house do you live in? Like, are the walls really thick brick that the Wi-Fi struggles to get through? And there's just so many different variables that it's like, it's almost like an impossible product to recommend or talk about. I mean, I can recommend it because I genuinely think that the PS Portal is the best handheld. Like, the form factor of the PS Portal is the best handheld I have ever used in my life. It's a DualSense, which is better than any other handheld controller in this world. Like, the only controller that beats the DualSense is the DualShock 4 for me. And it's only because I think the DualSense is slightly too bulky. If the DualSense was slightly smaller, still had the haptics in it, and had better battery life, then I think it would be like the best. I do genuinely believe it would be the best controller ever. But with the Portal, you get, firstly, the screen on the Portal is absolutely fantastic. And it just goes to show that Sony are really masters at making hardware. Obviously, the controller is great. The one thing about the Portal, though, the speakers on it, not very good. Like, not good at all. When my Portal is working absolutely brilliantly, like the perfect scenario, and my internet is working 100%, and there's, no real latency issues, I could play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on it multiplayer and like play it relatively successfully. Like, I was at one point, I'm gonna change character, but I was at one point, I had to change how I played. So usually in Call of Duty, I run around like a madman with an SMG. But this time, I kind of had to change it a bit, where I was kind of, hanging back a bit, using an assault rifle, kind of picking an area to almost essentially camp in and kind of play it slower. So I did have to do that, but like I played Batman Arkham City or Asylum. I played Yakuza Kiwami 1. I played Dredge. I played Far Cry Primal. I played a handful of other games. But like, I've played a lot of different games. Like a lot of different games. And I think it's actually very good. I genuinely, I love it. The only thing is about it is like, yes, my so far internet has been doing good for me, but I don't think, I really wonder, will it ever be good enough that like the latency is barely an issue? Because you can still feel it. Obviously, playing something native and playing something like streaming, there will always be a different feeling. Like, always. Like, regardless of what you do. Oh, I unlocked a new difficulty. Oh, cool. But like, there will always be a difference. And it's sort of, I would absolutely love if there was a PS Portal, but it ran, imagine it was the PlayStation, like it was a PlayStation 4 power, but in a handheld mode, and it used the exact same, it was like literally the exact same thing. Obviously it'd have to be thicker to have internals that can run it, but yeah, like that is conceivable at some point in the future, which I think is great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll only know if it's in your environment. Unfortunately for me, I had micro stutters and didn't work unless I was on the same floor as my. Yeah, see, I live in an apartment, so we only have one floor. So I guess I'm kind of lucky in that sense. I would be curious. I might next time I'm out, I'm in my parents' house. Maybe I might That's actually probably a good idea, just to test it out so I can just talk about it. Bring my PlayStation down, have it hooked up downstairs, and then go up to my old bedroom and see what it's like. Because the Wi-Fi in my parents' house is really good. I did actually just upgrade to 1 gigabit internet. I don't really know if that makes any difference. I think I really don't know if you have 500 meg broadband or you have 100 meg broadband. Or 1 gig broadband, would there be much difference in streaming the portal? I really don't know. I'm not an internet. I don't know much about the internet. Okay, let's see. What can I do here? While in the air. Cool. Oh, this guy actually looks pretty cool. Frozen free fall. I don't even know what that is. I assume that's a Frozen game, is it? So yeah, just to talk a bit more about this game. It's like you can kind of see, it's like, yeah, it has decent vistas, but also the image is very blurry. Like, really blurry. Oh, yeah, big time. My PlayStation isn't even plugged in, like, with LAN. So, again, that's probably something I'll test further down the line. I'll move my PlayStation right beside my router and see if that changes anything. Because already it's, like, it's perfectly playable. Like, still, when, I don't know, give me, like, the next big blockbuster game that's coming out. Like, when Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 comes out, I will still be playing that on my PlayStation, because that's a game where I want to sit down, put on headphones, experience it on my monitor with, like, really nice colors and obviously no latency. But, like, maybe if I need to grind out some side quests in Final Fantasy VII Remake, I might, you know, use it for that. And that's the thing. It's like I really enjoy now the fact that I have like a dedicated hardware that I can use for my PlayStation. Because to be honest, like my Steam Deck for the past, God knows how long, it's basically just been a PlayStation streaming device, because that's all I've wanted to do on it. And I had issues with the Steam Deck. Like I'm honestly probably going to sell my Steam Deck. Especially because the Steam Deck OLED is out and maybe upgrade in the future. But, like, I cannot see myself really using my Steam Deck, like, any time now. Because, like, the thing is with having it all on the PlayStation is that I like trophies. I'm not a trophy hunter, but I like trophies. And I like getting trophies. And also, it's nice when it works, which the majority of the time it does for me. It's like, it's nice that I can play games essentially on high graphics at all times and play it handheld. Whereas if you're playing a game on the Steam Deck natively, if it's a modern game, you're more than likely not going to be able to run it. And if you can run it, you'll be running at like low settings. So I genuinely think that that's like borderline unplayable for me personally. Like I was playing through Baldur's Gate on the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck just got so hot, the battery life was awful, and the fan was like a feckin' jet engine. But now, I will honestly probably buy Baldur's Gate on PlayStation, and then stream it on my deck and play it like that. And like, when a new JRPG comes out or something, I am 100%, like, they're gonna be just exclusive play on the portal, like when Persona 3 Reloaded comes out next year, or I don't know, I know there's a whole load of JRPGs coming out, but like, you know, games like that are just perfect for the PS Portal. And again, it helps that like the form factor is brilliant and the screen is fantastic. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that's my long-winded, probably 10-minute chat about the PS Portal. It's genuinely, I love it. I love it. But Sleep, what's your next game going to be now that you've finished Wonder? I've been playing through Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. Now I'm on to Arkham City. Been playing Yakuza Kiwami 1 as well, which I'm slowly going to go through. I'm going to just keep that in the background. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2 is interesting because when I never played Luigi's Mansion 1 before I played Luigi's Mansion 2. And I wasn't a massive fan of Luigi's Mansion 2. Like, I never even beat it because it just wasn't really speaking to me. And then I played Luigi's Mansion 1, and I'm like, oh my god, this game is truly fantastic. I think Luigi's Mansion 1 is potentially one of the greatest games ever made. And I'm not even joking when I say that. Oh, this is actually a cool system that this lad has. So when you charge it up, when you charge your attack up, if you release it at the right time, you deal more damage. Oh, yes. Oh, God, this character is cool. Oh, my God. I also like that, even though, like, each character genuinely has their own different sort of quirk and what, like, you actually play them slightly differently. Oh, 7 people. Well, welcome. If you're enjoying the stream, please give it a like. It helps push it out in front of more people. Or so YouTube tells me anyway. And of course, if you're new, which I'm not sure if you are, subscribe. Because I review a lot of games. So if you want to know what games are good and what games are bad and what games are worth your money and what games you should play and what games you shouldn't play, then that's what this channel is for. I have a couple more reviews planned before the end of the year. And then I'm going to do my big 2023 tier list. Like I did last year, where I rank all the games that I played. And I've played a lot of games. Oh, this character is so cool. That's what I wish there was more 3DS ports on the Switch. Yeah, I think they need to just bring over all the best 3DS games on the Switch, to be honest. And I know a lot of people will be annoyed at that, but I genuinely would love that. That's what I'm trying to figure out, what to play. A couple of deck builder roguelike. Well, Sleep, if you want a deck builder roguelike that came out this year that I really liked, it's called Wild Frost. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play as much of it as I would have liked, but the art style is fantastic. It's seems like a very good I think I only played maybe an hour or two of it, but from what I played, I really enjoyed it, and I have heard from other people that it is a very good game. So yeah, I would. That's one. I know Jake from Game Explain. Sleep. I freelance for a channel called Game Explain, if you don't know. And Jake over there was playing a load of roguelikes on his deck. Let me actually check. I'll check. He put out a tweet. I'm sure I'll be able to find them for you here. Let's see. Slay the Spire, Slay the Spire, Griftlands. Oh, we played Wild Frost. I think that was off my recommendation, but Wild Frost, definitely. Ah, welcome, Fo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I also appreciate the donation. But yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm doing a bit. I kind of, to be honest, last week was the first time I sort of ran into a block on making videos, because generally I'm fairly good for, regardless of what's going on or how I feel, like, sort of, I've always just been generally good over the past 3 years of just saying, feck it, like, just make the video. But last week was the first week that every single time I sat down to record a video, it just wasn't working. I think it was that, like, in my head, I was coming up to the end of the year where I was going to take a break. Because I was going to pre-record a couple of videos, get them up around Christmas, and then, like, basically just don't turn on my PC for, like, 2 weeks. And it's like I had that momentum that I was, like, the momentum that I had was keeping me going. And then once COVID got me, it just broke my momentum, and then I couldn't start it back up. So this is why I'm doing this stream, and I'm hoping this will start it back up. And then I'm going to make a Batman Arkham Asylum review for the 1st of December. That's my plan. I still have a couple of things to do for Game Explain, and then I'll do another couple of small reviews, and then do my tier list, and then that'll be me done. But that's like the first time that has happened to me, which, I mean, I guess it's pretty good going considering I've been doing this for like 3 years. So, I mean, it was going to happen at some point, and I'm glad that hopefully it only lasted a week. I haven't tried to record a video yet, because this was actually supposed to be a review I was doing. But because I beat the game, but then I was like, oh, I'll test out doing like a live review, where like I sort of put like 2 or 3 minutes before it of me actually talking about the game itself, and then jumped into playing the game, so that if people watch a VOD, there's like a small review before they jump in. So that's the plan here. And yeah, this is actually a very good streaming game, to be honest. Oh, class! I can pick people up. I'll read. I saw there was a message there. I will read chat now once I kill these guys. Asylum is my favorite. Devil May Cry foe. I should maybe change the title to put in Devil May Cry fully. That's probably a good idea. But Ronald van de, I assume. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce your the end of your last name there, because yeah, I assume I'm gonna take a guess that you're Dutch. That's my guess anyway. But you're new here, so welcome. Or well, you're new to the chat anyway, so welcome. But yeah, this certainly isn't a game that I would recommend to everybody. I think it's a sort of like, if you want something to play with your friends kind of a game, you know. I think if you play this with a couple of friends, I think you will have, to be honest, a fair bit of fun. And even solo, I'm having fun, but like there is issues with it. It's short. To be honest, this character is actually really cool. I like how different the characters feel. I'll give it that. I'll check out Wild Frost. Ring of Pain was another I was looking at. Yeah, it does. It is a bit generic. But I don't know, like I genuinely love playing AA games. Like, I don't know, I've always loved it. Because it's like there's something in this game that is fun. Like, this game is fun. Like, it is. It's a fun game. But it won't blow your socks off, and it feels like a PS3 game. But to be honest, sometimes I kind of want that, and yeah, that's just as simple as it is. Yeah. Yes, I'm Dutch. Change. Okay, so I'm gonna take a stab at pronouncing your name once I beat this encounter here. Well, the next question, since you're Dutch, Ronald, are you a football fan? And who do you support? I support Liverpool. So if you do like football, then I don't know. I'd imagine Dutch people kind of like Liverpool because Van Dijk is the captain. And can't forget Gini Wijnaldum. I love that man. And he had to go and leave. Well, he kind of got kicked out, to be honest. I don't know why they didn't extend his contract. Oh! You. Oh yeah, I've never played DMC, but I played The Nightmare Before. The Nightmare Before what? That's a what? The Nightmare Before Christmas is a DMC game. You have to be joking. Oh crap! I have to like duck. See, I'm using my real camera, and my camera covers the screen. Oogie's Revenge, is that it? Oh my god! I think you might have given me an idea. For like a Christmas review. Thank you. I will look into that. I'm actually gonna write that down. Nightmare Before Christmas game. I'll sort that out. That sounds like a great time. Look, I have to see the problem is with being a gaming YouTuber is that like gaming and football or soccer, which makes me shiver when I call it that. But gaming and football don't like. There's not much overlap, you know. Like a lot of people, especially because a lot of just gamers don't really like sports, and then if they're American, they certainly won't like football. So when the opportunity arises that a European person from a country that have a massive football culture are there, I will have to ask them questions about football. That's the first cough. I'm doing good. I still have like a lingering cough that's really annoying me. What's this MMO? It's not exactly an MMO, Steph. It's like a sort of like a character action RPG kind of game. It's fully co-op, 1 to 4 players. I haven't played the co-op because I don't have any friends. Also, the game isn't out, so I wouldn't have been able to play co-op. But it's like a fun game that I would recommend to a certain extent to certain people. It's not a game I'd recommend to everybody, but like I do think if you could find this game cheap, it's sort of like, oh yeah, I think you'll have fun, you know? See, because this is the problem when you kind of start to review games, is like, you're like, as much as I know a lot of reviewers would like to say it doesn't, the fact that you get free games definitely changes how you think about games. In general, before I got a lot of games for free, I was never really one that would sit here and look for, like, you know, hour per time spent. That was never me. But as I've gotten more games for free, hour per time spent just doesn't really come into the equation for me. So, like, this game is short. At most, you'll get, like, 10, maybe 12 hours if you're, like, running through on the hardest difficulty and maybe playing through with, like, two out of the 4 characters. So, you just have to take that into account. It's similar to Outriders, like AA fun for 20 to 30 hours with friends. I would say Outriders, to me, is probably the best example of... Would you call that game AA? I mean, it's bordering around there, but I think Outriders is like the best example of what this sort of game can be, where it is genuinely fun. You know, a kind of useless story that nobody really cares about, which I don't think is a problem. But this game is definitely jankier than Outriders. I don't think it's as good as Outriders. Like, I would recommend Outriders over this game every single day of the week. But, yeah, it's like a worse quality Outriders. So do with that what you want. And by the way, I love Outriders. Like every so this is my 3rd character that I've played as here. Now I haven't gone like as deep with the other characters. As in, like, I beat the game with 1 character, so like I understand his sort of combat really well. And when it's working, like, stringing together combos is really fun. But each character genuinely does feel different, which is, I think, a massive thing that I have to commend this game on. Oh my god, I might die. Oh! Oh no. I might die here. So there's 4 different characters and they're all different. One is this punching guy. One is a bow wielding person. One is a sort of nimble woman that has a rapier, and then one is this big massive lad that has a hammer. And no game audio. It's probably just low, maybe. I mean, no one else has said anything. Let me just pop it up, maybe. Just let me know if that fixes it, because like on my end now, it wouldn't surprise me, because OBS just, you know, wakes up and decides what it wants to do. Yeah, thank you. OBS just wakes up and decides what it wants to do on the day. But so there's 4 different characters and there is customization. So as you level up, as you go through the levels first, Nick, these artifacts on the left, which you can unlock more slots for as you go along, basically are things that you find in chests in the levels that are only activated in the level, and then once you start a new level you have to collect more, and they just add different bonuses. And then on the right here you have shards, which you can customize. Each character has like 3 or 4 different things that they can put in each one of these shard things, so you can kind of build a different character around different certain things. With the bow character, I found the basic one was the one that I liked the most, so that was what I used pretty much all the time. But you can change your character and stuff, which is nice. I think it's more that like it just genuinely like it feels pretty fun. Like it's a genuinely fun game, and that's it. Has a bit of PS3 era charm to it, but like I'm not gonna sit here and say it's amazing. I'm not gonna sit here and say you have to go out and buy it. But it's definitely a game that like maybe one day you're walking into a GameStop and you see it. Oh, there it is for $30 or something, and it's like, oh, you text one of your mates, oh, do you want to play some random multiplayer game together? It's like, yeah. Because, to be honest, I love these sorts of games. Like, I'm always, I should have said this at the start, I'm always searching for a Lord of the Rings style, like Lord of the Rings movie tie-in game style game, or Lord of the Rings War in the North style game. And this has given me that to a certain extent.
Go, seek shelter at
I have.
Thank you. May we meet again.
I have seen the new Walking Dead game, Fob. And I did send an email looking for a code, but nobody got back to me. I was thinking about doing a video. What I might do at some point in the future is like go out when all the games, like when all the game mill games get real cheap in Smiths or something, go out and buy a lot of them. And do like a big video on a lot of them. However, apparently that Walking Dead Destinies game has some... Apparently they were given less than 2 years to make it. They had less than 2 years to make it. And apparently the ideas that they have are pretty cool. Like, as in, you can change... I think it's set in The Walking Dead season 1 to 4, and you can change different things that happened in the show, and then it changes how the game goes from there. So, pretty funny. But that game looks dreadful. But I don't really blame. And also, what was the other game? Was it the Kong game? They came out and said they were given a year to make it. I've been looking for a co-op game. Risk of Rain 2 was really fun, Nick. Like, I love Risk of Rain 2.
We must reach the communicator. But as I said,
you should do the worst 2023 Gollum, King Kong, Walking Dead Destinies. There was an Avatar game that came out. The thing with Game Mill, like, Game Mill have released the Nick Kart racing games, which are pretty decent. And then they released that DreamWorks, like, All-Stars Racing, which apparently is pretty decent. They released Nick All-Star Brawl 1 and 2, which both of them, especially the second one, I suppose, very good. Sorry. I can feel my throat getting dry and the cough coming back. Oh. And then they release like that other crap, so I don't know. Yeah, everybody 1-2 Switch probably does deserve to be on there. Gollum. I probably will do like a most disappointing games of the year. I think that might be a video that I make. Because there's actually been quite a few disappointing games, like just off the top of my head. We have, to be honest, like if I'm making a disappointing list, I would honestly, I think, put Starfield on that. Because Starfield is great for the first 20 or 30 hours. And then when you get into it, it feels like you are literally just walking or going into your menus to like go to your next quest marker, and there's no exploration, which it kind of feels like a BioWare sort of Mass Effect game rather than a Bethesda game, which is like why expectations are such a massive thing. Like if that was a BioWare game, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is great, but it's not a BioWare game, it's a Bethesda game, which is, I expect, you know, really seamless exploration, and the game just never has that. So, yeah, I think that's I think I'd put that on my most disappointing list this year. Yeah, see, I'm not even sure, like...
Massive tier incoming!
Run!
That's right,
I would, like... Crash Team Rumble, I wouldn't say is disappointing because I was expecting it to be, like, just completely bang average, which is what it was. Honestly, I would love to see a list of best games of 2023 that didn't make the Game of the Year vote. Oh, let's actually... Game of the Year contenders. Let's see what the list is. The nominees. And the nominees are... Okay, so Alan Wake 2, which is a game that, to be honest, scares the shit out of me. And it's very tense, and I'm just not in the mood for playing that right now. So I gave up on playing that. Baldur's Gate 3, which I think will win it. Marvel Spider-Man. Okay. Well, just looking at that list, I think Dead Space Remake deserves to be on that list. And I don't... Dead Space remakes deserve to be on it if they are... I don't know. It's like, I think Dead Space Remake is a big enough upgrade that it deserves to be on the list, you know? And I think it also fundamentally changes. It does fundamentally change the game. So I think Dead Space Remake deserves to be up there. What other games? Oh, I really have to think. Like, see, when you're put on the spot, it's genuinely very difficult. And the problem is that there's quite a few games that like I've played a lot of, but haven't beat. That I would potentially put on the list, but I haven't beaten them. You know, so it's kind of a bit. It's a bit iffy putting them on the list. So let me actually see here. Well, what are we talking about? Yeah, like Hi-Fi Rush is probably one that deserves to be on there. Let me scroll. Oh god, I've uploaded a lot of videos this year.
Free at last?
Like, I think either Street Fighter 6 or Mortal Kombat 1 deserves to be up there for me. And I know it never would, but I know it never would, but crap, I already forgot. I saw the game there. What game was it? Armored Core 6 is a game that I'd probably put up there. I really, really love Armored Core 6 because it's just like, yeah, it's a bit unbalanced, as in it's easier to break than say a Dark Souls game, even though Dark Souls games are quite easy to break, might I add. But like, it's not as concerned about being this super hard, ultra balanced game. It definitely is difficult, but just customizing your mech is so fun. And just trying out all different builds, and the fact that the game doesn't punish you at all for trying out a new build. You can buy and sell things for the exact same price. Like, Armored Core 6 is just the definition of fun. It is a fun game, and I think that's why I would put it up there on my list. Dead Space Remake I put up there because it's genuinely a fantastic, pretty scary game with some of the best graphics I've ever seen in my life. The lighting in that game is absolutely insane, and it's just so gory, and the world is honestly quite interesting. And just the fact that like Isaac Clarke is just an engineer that just so happens to be on a ship, and he's using engineering tools to kill the enemies, is just cool. What other games have I beaten this year? Let me see. Jedi Survivor. No, Jedi Survivor. Oh, Sea of Stars, actually, yes. That definitely deserves to be up there. Like, I think Lies of P... I haven't beaten Lies of P, though. That's the problem. But I think Lies of P, if I had beaten it, probably would have ended up there. Another game that I don't really think it would have been on the Game of the Year list, but that I loved but couldn't finish because it's too scary, is Amnesia: The Bunker. That game is absolutely fantastic. It has no right being as good as it is, but it's just so scary that I just gave up. I only have so many pairs of brown trousers. I'm looking here, like Diablo. I don't think Diablo 4 should be up there.
Makes my heart sing like thunder.
Dead Space Remake is on Game Pass, really? And yes, Armored Core 6 with co-op will be really fun. It has a multiplayer mode though, doesn't it? Okay, let's try out let's try out the other character. I know everybody is absolutely fascinated in Gangs of Sherwood, but yeah, let's play some of the other character. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2.0 looks fantastic. I have Cyberpunk on my PlayStation 5. I will get around to playing that at some point. I've never really been one for playing DLC though, so. Oh, you set up a PS2 emulator on your Series S. Oh, that's cool. See, if I'm emulating the game, I'll emulate it on my Steam Deck.
With every twist and every turn, the puppets
You have to prepare for the fight ahead.
Okay, so each character... Okay, alright, so I understand now. Each character you have to unlock the abilities for. And the money isn't shared.
Some time, aye.
And then here you can change all your abilities.
Is that a fitting outfit for a leader of the resistance?
Also, there's a game coming out. I'm hoping to get a review code for it. On PSVR 2, okay? Now, apparently, it's called Vertigo 2. Apparently, this game, Vertigo 2, is, like, genuine masterpiece level VR game. Like, people put it on the same pedestal as Half-Life Alyx. And it's made by one person. So it's already out on Steam VR and all that. So people absolutely love it. So that game's coming out soon. I forget exactly when, but I'll probably try beat that. That could be on the list by the end of the year too. You never know. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora might make it there as well. I do love me a Ubisoft open world game from time to time. I love a Ubisoft open world game. When a Ubisoft open world, when you're in the mood for a Ubisoft open world game, and it hits, as the kids would say, it hits. Oh! Cool, Rylan. I didn't see that. Enjoy the rest of your day. I actually do have one on the series. Let's go Ratchet Clank. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got the shit names for Ratchet and Clank. We have Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, and 3. I just call it Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, and 3. Well, yous have what? It's like Up Your Arsenal, Going Commando. I don't know the rest of them. Oh God, okay, this guy's. Oh, yes. Okay, it doesn't seem like this guy has, like... Oh, he has a shield. Oh, cool. I was just about to say, it doesn't seem like he has his own, like, unique ability.
say your prayers.
So, question to everybody. What world premieres are we going to see? I hate saying premieres. It's premiere. It's just such a weird way. It's just a very American way to say that word. But like, what world premieres are we hoping to see at the Game Awards?
Well, that's just demanding, if you ask me.
Noxless tears.
I think
Less poetically known as
for me. Oh well, actually, before I jump into that, I hope Game Pass popularity, PS Plus price increase lead to more AA games being made. Yes, I think, to be honest, I think Game Pass is overall going to be bad for the gaming industry. Right now, it's very good as consumers. It is obviously, like, you get an insane amount of gain for practically no money at all, which is great. But I think ultimately it's going to be bad for the gaming industry. But what it could potentially do is lead to a rise in AA games, because The thing about, like, this game, Gangs of Sherwood, this is a game that I would say, if this is in Game Pass, download it, play with your friends, and have some fun. But if you have to pay money for it, it's a different question. And I do genuinely think that Game Pass could lead to more of these games being made. Because there's less risk involved. And then now on to the Game Awards.
Have toilet sewers that size.
So,
Smuggling tunnels, you
I have one little theory
anyone smuggle feces?
that I hope comes true. I mean, it'd be cool. So, for anybody that didn't play, for anybody that didn't play Crash Team Rumble, that game kind of flopped. And Toys for Bob have come out saying they are, they've struggled to find an audience for it, which, I mean, makes sense. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to be able to call that from a mile away, like I did, but, you know, it doesn't take a genius. But on the 7th of December, which is the Game Awards Day, Spyro is coming to Crash Team Rumble, which was always planned. He was always going to come to it the same way he did Crash Team Race. But by all accounts, there has been a long-rumoured Spyro game in the works, a brand new Spyro game, Spyro 4 or whatever they're going to call it, probably made by Toys for Bob. And what are the odds that they release a trailer for the new Spyro game, and to capitalize on the sort of Spyro love, they then introduce Spyro in the Crash Team Rumble? I think that is a pretty sound theory for me. From me, anyway.
Please, sir. This is everything we've got. Wrong. You don't have it anymore.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, Crash Team. See, that's a problem. Like, it's called Crash Team Rumble, and it should be short to CTR, but CTR already exists, so it just kind of confuses things. But yes, it should have been free to play from day one. But to be honest, like, I think the game is fun. It's fun for like 10 hours, and I kind of tricked myself into thinking it was fun because me and my friend David were playing it together, and we were both going for the platinum, so we were actually kind of invested in it. I only have one last trophy, just to put this into perspective, okay? I'm no trophy hunter, but I have like 20 odd platinums, so like I do like trophies. I spend about 10 hours grinding out these very specific trophies. There's ones that are like, say, use Entropy's disability to hit 3 enemies at once, and they're sort of like very specific, like time-sensitive sort of trophies that you will get them, but you just kind of have to keep trying, and eventually you get it. And I got all them, and I was having fun trying to get them. But then once I got all them trophies, and my final trophy was like, get a character to max level, which would have meant I had to play like maybe 5 or 6 more hours of the game. I just said, no, I'm done. So that goes to show how fun that game was. Once there was no sort of like random incentive in me getting trophies, I just put the game down. So like, I think even if the game was free to play, I don't think the game itself is compelling enough to keep people playing, you know? Oh. Apologies, all this talking is really killing my throat. Because I still have a little tickly cough. Okay, well, I can't go through that way. Where the fuck do I go? Yeah, mate, well, when is that out, Sleep? I thought that was out the 1st of December. And I'm talking about the Arkham thing. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm talking about the Arkham. So, I think that's out the 1st of December, and the Game Awards are on the 7th.
Damned magnetite gates. We won't pass.
This model can't run without
Okay, how do I
external
drop?
generators.
Look, here's the first one to tinker with.
Ah, Jarsh, I don't recognize you. Welcome. I've never played Arkham. Yeah, I've only played. I just beat Arkham Asylum for the first time there today. Actually, like I've been playing it the past couple of days. Pretty short. I enjoyed it, but I definitely have some issues with it. I don't think it's the absolutely phenomenal game that everybody has told me it is. It's a very good game, but like people talk about it as if it's like the best game ever made, which I don't agree. But it is a good game. And now I'm playing through Arkham City, which I've played before and I love it. I've never played Arkham Knight though, and the reason for that is I don't like vehicles. I really dislike vehicles in games. I always have. And I don't want to play as in a game where they sort of force you into using the Batmobile, you know?
Two to go. We just have to follow the cables.
But,
Boom them all.
and the thing is about like the Arkham collection on Switch,
Tax collector.
Arkham is locked to 30 FPS on PlayStation as well. Like the Return to Arkham collection is also 30 FPS. So like if they run at a solid frame rate, then I mean you're probably better off buying it on the Switch because you can play it portably. But I hope I like Arkham Knight. Because one thing I can really appreciate about Arkham City, I played that game like 10 years ago or whatever. So like it's been quite some time since I played it. But because the map is small and contained and well designed and not just some absolute like let's make the biggest game that we can possibly make. I can remember every single part of the map, and I played the game 10 years ago. It's like there's open world games now that have such bloated maps that I played about 6 months ago and I can't remember anything about them. Just goes to show that like actually building a level, like using your open world map as a level and not just a load of random, let's place this here and let's build an algorithm so we can randomly build this, makes such a big difference. And again, one thing I really appreciate, Arkham City and Arkham Asylum can both be beaten within like probably 20 hours for both of them. And you still feel like you're getting a full experience. Like I was talking to my friend earlier, like I love Immortals Phoenix Rising, okay? I love it. I think were we talking about that sleep in my Assassin's Creed stream, or was that with Cristiano? I forget, but I love Immortals Phoenix Rising, but I can't remember that map. Like, I can't remember anything about Immortals Phoenix Rising's map. Far Cry 3, even though that game is a genuinely, like, it's a seminal open world game, I can't remember that map because it's just a random island. But, like, the second I got out into Arkham City, and I was like, oh, I remember the courthouse where you meet Two-Face for the first time. Oh, I remember that place where Joker was with the sniper, the sort of bell tower. And then when you get to the part where you're looking out over the water around where you meet Bane, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this. I was like, it's just an absolute no-brainer. Just give me smaller, contained games. And this is why when it comes to this game, I'm like I think it's borderline potentially too short. But again, I'd much rather a game be too short than too long. Well, for me anyway. Like, I'd much rather play a game that will say, oh yeah, maybe if this game was, maybe it's 8 hours long, you're like, oh, maybe it could have done with being 10 to 12. I'd much rather that than be like, oh, this game is 30 hours. Oh, but you probably could have got it done in 20. I actually did play Arkham Origins, Foe. I never beat it though, because I'll let you into a bit of adsy lore here. So I've had about like 4 YouTube channels in my life from the time I was maybe like 14, and then I had one when I was like 16, and then I had one when I was like 18, and I've had a lot of YouTube channels anyway. And my sort of second most successful one behind this, I had like 200 subscribers or something. And it was a Let's Play channel, and I did an Arkham Origins Let's Play. So there you go. There's a bit of lore. But like one thing, so I have my Christmas tree up now, and I love Christmas. I'm one of them. I'm like a child on Christmas, even though I'm nearly 26. But like, I have my Christmas tree up in my sitting room, and I'm sitting down. I'm playing Arkham City, and it's in like a snowy city. And I know Arkham Origins is actually does that take place on Christmas Eve, or is it New Year's Eve? What do you want, Arlo? What do you want? You're interrupting me stream. You little fecker. Come on. Up. No! Look! On up here! Come on! Up! No. Come on! No, you don't want to be on the stream, do you? Arlo's being a bit camera shy. But yeah, I just enjoy games at Christmas. Here, actually, I need to get a Kong for Arlo because he's doing me nut in here. He's just annoying me. Be back in 10 seconds. I've returned. But yeah, what were we talking about? Christmas and games. Yeah, just playing games on Christmas is always just a happy time. Because that was always when you get like a new console or a new game or two, and you ignore your family and just play games all day. Because that's all I ever wanted to do on Christmas.
Doesn't this feel like home to you?
Churches were homes of the Lord before the sheriff closed them down.
Well, see, the thing is, folks, Gotham Knights was like ridiculously, like that game sold so well. That's the thing with that game. It's like nobody seemed to like it, but them, like, I don't know, people don't take into account just sort of like what an IP can do for a game. Like the amount of people that bought that game, they saw Gotham and they were like, oh, that's a Batman game, let's buy it. But that game is genuinely dreadful. However, I do want to actually try beat it and do a video on it because I think it'd be fun. Because I'm kind of on a bit of a Batman kick now. Because I wanted to like time my Batman video for when the Switch port comes out, and then I was hoping to do like some content for Game Explain on the Switch port. Shit, I might die here.
Oh yeah? Think you can take me down? Smashing your sins away.
Yes, regeneration.
Been forgiven.
Gangs of Sherwood is going to flop. Unfortunately, I think it might. Which, you know, you see, this is the problem with reviewing games. Is like,
in that place.
it's like this is a game that like I recommend if it's a bit cheaper. I wouldn't recommend it at full price.
Speaking of kingdoms,
And that also probably means that the game is probably going to flop.
So rhetorical.
Because a lot of people will be of the same opinion as me. And then it's like, oh, that's a bit sad. You know, a lot of people put time and effort into this game. Like, it's certainly not a bad game. It's just not fantastic. I've been playing the Donkey Kong Country 3 with the holiday cheat code. I assume, does that turn everything Christmassy? I've never actually played any of the old Donkey Kong Country games. I've played Tropical Freeze and Country Returns, but I've never played the old ones. No, I was too young. Or too... Yeah, I guess too young. I wasn't even born. No, I don't really buy anything for PC, really, like at all. I just don't like playing games on PC.
Upgrade your nose if you can't even smell an ambush anymore.
I mean, like, if I'm buying a game, I'm almost always going to buy it on PlayStation and secondarily Switch.
Guy of Gisborne. Part man, part tin can. Mostly tin can.
Why was I attacking there?
Say your prayers.
Okay, I don't think I like this character as much. I think the fist guy is actually probably the most fun to play, really.
I remember your voice. Assassin!
I was laughing when the sheriff stabbed your father, and I'm still laughing now.
So then,
Robin of Locksley.
question to everybody, since we're talking about Christmas games. See, it's weird. It's very weird talking to a sort of international audience, because obviously, like, I assume the majority of you are all from the US anyway. That would be my guess. I know, like, obviously the people that the regulars in the chat, I know that some of you aren't, but like, it's weird talking to an international audience because Ireland is like Catholic. Everybody is Catholic here. Pretty much every single person is Catholic, and every single person that I grew up with, bar a handful, were Catholic. But like, what's your favorite games to play around Christmas? Like, I think some of my favorite memories for like sort of Christmas games are, well, let's see, getting the Wii. Me and my brother got the Wii off Santa Claus, just in case there's any kids watching. We got the Wii off Santa Claus, and we were playing Twilight Princess during like our Christmas break. Trying to think. One year we got the PS2, and Sleeps talking about FIFA Street. FIFA Street is amazing, but the first game we got on the PS2 was FIFA 03. I think it had, I'm gonna say Roberto Carlos, Edgar Davids, and Ryan Giggs on the cover. And we also got the Spider-Man 1 movie game.
Already know they won't be laughing for much longer.
I'll watch you light the wick after we stuff
And
you
then,
down.
well, not specifically for, I don't mean like an actual Christmas game, just a game that
The enemy has time to
you played around Christmas or remind you of Christmas, because there actually aren't that many Christmas games. Like, when I think of Christmas games, I honestly think of like Batman Arkham. I think of sort of Miles Morales. That's set around Christmas time. The Division is set around Christmas time.
He sure does.
Yeah, like, there's not that many
he
like
owns
actual
this
Christmas games. Donkey Kong Country for SNES. Yeah, there's. I'm trying to think. Did I get any platformers?
Ooh, I admire your generosity.
I remember I got a PSP Go one year, and the PSP Go was just they just made it too early. Like, it was an all digital console, which is obviously way ahead of the times, but the internet was so shit that, like, it took me like literally 6 hours to download Assassin's Creed and Ratchet and Clank Size Matters.
factory up ahead.
But I have a very good memory, very fond memories of playing Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, because that game is class. And I was just absolutely blown away that I was playing a Ratchet and Clank game handheld.
Say your prayers.
I see.
Well, Jarish, you seem to have gotten some absolute banger games for Christmas.
Classy.
I remember, actually, now that I remember, it must have been a pack-in title. But we got on the Wii, was it Excite Truck? I think that was the name of it. It was like a monster truck rally game. And I remember looking at it, I was like, what is this crap? And then I played it, and it was so much fun. It's probably a terrible game, but I had a great time playing it. And another sort of memory I have, when I got a PS4 one Christmas, and I got it for Dragon Age Inquisition because my PC wasn't good enough to run Dragon Age. So I decided, instead of upgrading my PC, I'd just go back to playing games on console. So I asked for a PlayStation 4 with Dragon Age, and I got Dragon Age, but in like the pack-in in the box was Infamous Second Son. And I have a pretty weird history with Infamous. I hated Infamous when I got it as younger on PS3. But then later on down the line I played Infamous and I actually love it. But I got Infamous Second Son. It was just like the pack-in title. I looked at it, I was like, I'll play it. But I'm not really looking forward to it. and then I played it for like an hour, and I fell in love with it, and I beat that game before Dragon Age even got into my PlayStation. So yeah, that started sort of like my love of Infamous. Because Infamous is class. I remember when the Game Boy SP came out and we were freaking out. The screen lit up by itself. See, I was too young to really appreciate. Like, obviously, in my little kid brain, I knew there was something different about it, but I didn't appreciate it. Like, when the SP came out, I was probably 6. I don't know when the SP came out. But again, I remember getting that for Christmas as well. As you can see, all I ever asked for Christmas was games, you know. There's no wonder I'm sitting here streaming, playing games, and review games on the internet. I'm a bit... I'm a bit obsessive about them. But, the year I got Game Boy SP, so I have the Tribal Tattoo SP, if anybody knows that one. I still have it to this day, and it still works. And I actually only launched it a couple of weeks ago, or, well, a couple of months ago. Still works and all that. The Tribal Tattoos are quite scratched up. But that year, I got Dragon Age, or not Dragon Age, Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, which is basically a Fire Emblem Lord of the Rings game, where you play the 3 movies, and you can play from the good and the bad side. So you like, and they have like different endings as well. So if you play as the bad guys, like you technically win, you technically kill Frodo, and it was so cool. Very difficult though. I was way too young to understand it. I did eventually beat it, but it took me ages. And is Dragon Age any good? Yes, Fo. Dragon Age Origins is,
We're rolling, guys.
I believe, the best RPG ever made. Dragon Age 2 is good. Like, it's good. It's actually quite good. Dragon Age 2 kind of suffered from... It was a spin-off that was forced into being a sequel. And then people were kind of comparing it to Origins. So when you don't compare it to Dragon Age Origins, it's actually like a very good game. But in comparison to Origins, I don't think it's too great. And then Dragon Age Inquisition has a really good story, but it's quite bloated because they have this sort of weird MMO power structure where like certain quests will only unlock after you've reached like a certain power level, which means you have to go and do these random like open world objectives. But I just enjoy the game. So the combat is more actiony too. But Dragon Age Inquisition, I haven't played it since it came out though, so it's been quite some time. Half-Life 2, I have played it before. I never beat it though. It was just one of them games that I like, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about it, I guess. It's been years since I even tried it. But yeah, those oh god, this character, no, maybe I was wrong about this character. He's quite fun. But Dragon Age, or the Game Boy Advance SP was a fantastic console. My cousin had, does anyone remember the Mario one that I think came with Mario versus Donkey Kong, which I cannot wait for that remake, because Mario versus Donkey Kong is one of the best GBA games ever made. Absolutely fantastic. I still haven't gotten around to Mario RPG yet. I've never played the original. Just too many games, not enough money, unfortunately. I've bought enough games this year, and it's coming up to Christmas. So I would have liked to review it, but, you know, I did the smart thing and protected my wallet. That's not nice. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Shame Key Mailer or that don't have bigger games. Yeah, see, like, it's at the stage now where, like, as well as sort of my, like, having Game Explain, like, I can get a lot of games. Like, there's still big games that I can't get. But, like, I don't know how, but I got a code for Call of Duty for my own channel. And then, like, yeah, I don't know. Plus, but the only thing about, like, sort of getting free games, I was talking about this earlier, I do believe that, and I've heard this from Mr. Matty Plays and ACG, who are two reviewers that I respect a lot. I'm not in the position to be able to do this just money-wise, but when they buy a game, or when they review a game and get a free code, they buy a copy, so then their money is on the line, then they give the copy away to one of their patrons or something. And if this ever does become sort of my full-time income, I think I will probably, like, make that a rule. Because you definitely do think of games differently when you're not paying for them. So I think, as nice as it would be if I could say, you know, let's say, like, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 next year, and Persona 3 Reloaded, and, like, give me another, Suicide Squad, and all of these games, like, as good as it would be for me to be able to get them games free, and obviously it'll be a massive sort of, you know, weight off my bank account, I still think it's important for me to actually still buy games. Because you do definitely lose sight of what €80 is if you're getting all your games for free, you know? Because, like, if I paid €50 for this game, I don't think I'd feel stung, but I wouldn't be exactly happy. I would have been like, yes, this is okay, and it would have been a game that I probably bought physically and then beat and traded in to sort of recoup my losses. So it's like, you just kind of want to keep buying some games so you don't lose that.
This guy has more toys than a spoiled brat.
If you can't even walk on the battlefield without assistance, you're too old for this job.
The end justifies the means, John.
Your end certainly does.
Okay, this boss actually might be. I'd say the bosses actually might be kind of difficult with this character because you have to be so close. With the ranged character, the bosses are comically easy. I actually haven't used my shield. Okay, well, the shield doesn't last.
Say your prayers.
Oh no.
You will die.
I'm in concentration mode now, because the problem is, if you die, you go, yes, I can revive myself with 25% health. And if I die once more, I have to restart this whole boss fight again. Or the whole level again. Well, maybe not on the boss fights. I've never died on a boss, so we'll actually see. And if that happens, I don't think I'm going to go back through this mission. Yeah, no, some of the bosses are cool. I do. Again, it's like there's some parts of this game that are fun.
How about embarrass?
Oh, health. Give me health. Oh, you fecker. I just ran over there to get the health and then lost every bit that I just picked up.
Really? See what you got. Smashing your sins away.
Oh, it's that attack that absolutely upends me. Come on. Ooh! I'm in concentration mode here. Ooh! Roll, 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 roll! Now, is he gonna drop more health things? Because dodge through. Is he gonna jump on me now?
New flies in my web.
Say your prayers.
Oh no! Just keep rolling. Just keep rolling. Yes.
Smashing your sins away.
Oh, roll, 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 roll. Ooh.
Beauty is sex.
Come on. Oh no. Oh shit! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, no, 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 no. Yahoo! I'm so good at this game. Thoughts on early access games? My thoughts on early... Ah, welcome, Cristiano. Everything's going good. Let's see. Thoughts on early access games. So, I generally don't mind early access games because at the very least with an early access game, you get a product. Because I have a problem with Kickstarter because
I'm sorry for what my father did to yours.
especially when Kickstarter was young, there was a lot of horror stories of people backing Kickstarter games and like literally never seen anything. But at the very least, when you get an early access game, you get a product that you can play. And obviously, you are buying into the fact that you know that this game at some point might be finished or it might just get abandoned, which happens to a lot of early access games. So, but they're also a good way to sort of raise funds for indie studios because making games is expensive. It's not, nothing is guaranteed. So, I generally like early access games. I think it's a good system. Now, to be honest, I don't want to play any more of this game. I think I'm done. I've beaten it once. I played through the first act again. So that's the first chapter, and there are 3 more chapters. So, maybe 6 hours to beat all chapters. So, you know, there's some information for you if you want.
For in its magic, we truly see.
I think Arlo needs to go out to pee. So, nice job. Thank you, Jarsh. Cristiano's here. Hello. The game should have been early access. Well, see, I think it's like, I don't know, like if this game just had more content, then maybe it would be, I think it would maybe be a bit, you know, a bit easier of a recommendation. Just have to open the door. Switch it up, yeah, I'll play something else on my PlayStation. I'm just gonna go pee while Arlo's out there peeing, and then we'll change up the game and I'll play for a bit.
I miss a world so full of wonder.
Makes my heart sing like thunder. Every twist and every turn, the puppets teach and make us laugh.
I have returned. Okay, so this is what we have. I think Call of Duty is probably a safe bet, is it? Want to see Call of Duty? And no, I'm not playing Amnesia the Bunker. That's never happening. Play a couple of games of COD. I really dislike how you unlock things in COD. It is honestly absolutely dreadful. It's probably one of the most unrewarding unlock systems I have ever seen in my life. Jake, I was only explaining how I didn't buy Mario RPG because I don't have money. And now you're coming in here asking about another game that costs money. Ah, well, Fo, I think you just have to get good, as the kids would say. I'll show you how it's done, Fo. I was playing good earlier. I played a couple of really good games. Are we just going to do Terminal 24/7? I need to get Arlo in first, and then I will search. give Arrow a treat. Firstly, thank you very much, Jake. You didn't have to do that, but that's not going towards Nick All-Star Brawl. That's going to go towards something different. Something that you won't like. What games does Jake not like? Let me see. Give me a game that Jake doesn't like. Actually, I don't know. To be honest, Jake, what games don't you like? Look, I'll show you how it's all done on Call of Duty. You're all just bad, alright? Every single one of you just really bad at the game, and I'll show you that this COD is actually good. I don't really like COD. Well, I already bought... Well, no, I got a code for this game, but... But yes, how you unlock weapons in this... Oh, my mic is on. How you unlock weapons in this game is absolutely dreadful. Jake, I'm going to put my money... I'm going to put that $10 towards buying COD in-game tokens. Or whatever it's called. COD coins? I don't even know what they're called. Oh, is it? Oh. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I have like very specific challenges to do with this gun, so I'm going to use this gun. It's an LMG, and I'm just going to show you how to play COD. Okay, well that's good shooting.
Here we go!
Look, you watch it. Stun grenade in there. Oh, okay, that's good. I just had to see the DualSense wireless thing popped up. That's distracted me. That's why I didn't kill him. Okay, again, something else distracted me there. I'll get a kill eventually. Like what? Come on now. He's just sitting there with a sniper. I can't do much about campers. Get him! Get the kill! Oh yes, I got assist. So yes, the unlock system in this game is honestly terrible.
Took a round.
Like absolutely dreadful. The worst unlock system to ever grace a game. Extremely unrewarding.
Maintain the lead.
Yes, got a kill! Oh! Okay, alright. I'll get more kills next round.
Hostile SAE near your position.
Oh, that's coming straight in on me.
Hostiles launched a cruise missile.
Look alive.
Look at these speckers with their snipers. Like, what can you do?
Enemy UAV
Oh, the COD
active.
rage is gonna start coming out. Yeah, like, there's just lights going off everywhere. This game is crap. And no, I'm not bad at the game.
Destroy that shit.
What Cyber Monday sale? The Adzi Gaming Cyber Monday sale. I don't sell anything. But that's a good sale because it saves your wallet. It's actually you 100% off. Like, I don't know what to do when there's literally 6 sniper scopes pointed at you at all times.
Hostile counter UAV overhead.
What's everybody's opinion on skill-based matchmaking?
Hostile UAV in the area.
I'm just telling you, Cristiano, it's the best sale in the world. If you don't actually sell anything, then you can't actually spend money, which means you will technically save money.
Enemy down.
Like, look!
Hit.
2 fucking... Do you know what? Let's see, what weapon is this? Yeah, see, look, nobody ever wants to snipe again. Oh, okay. I did get a nice sniper kill, though. Actually, a couple of days ago, I have the clip on my PlayStation. I got a collateral.
Look alive. A real stun incoming.
Peek.
Throwing flash grenade. Changing mags. Close one. Incoming!
Oh god.
We have taken the lead. The enemy's taken the lead.
Taking effective fire!
Oh, I'm terrible at this game.
The enemy is gaining ground.
Audio games audio might be too loud. Thank you. Thank you. I've lowered that a bit. I actually don't know how much battery's left on my camera, so I might have to switch over to my webcam. How many kids without a PS5 are getting PS Portals for Christmas? Yeah, I do fear that there will be at least 1 or 2 kids.
Flash out!
Minimum. That will... I'm not even going to bother going there. Like, there's just snipers. Come on.
Hostiles launched a cruise missile.
Ah, yes, you got out-sniped. Okay, here we go. Shotgun. Let's actually run around with a shotgun. Oh, you camper.
Friendly UAV online.
Oh, I gave a very long, extensive thoughts on the Portal earlier, Fo, but basically I really like it because it's probably the best handheld I've ever used in my life. As in the actual like form of it is, the form factor is like the best handheld I've ever used. The screen is brilliant, the controller is fantastic. Speakers are pretty shit, and it just so happens that my internet is good enough for it to work well. I mean, if that's the problem with like it as a product, is that it's impossible to recommend because you don't know until you get your hands on the actual Portal what it's going to, how it's going to react in your environment, because your house is different, your walls are different, your internet's different, how many people are connected to your internet is different, how many people in your area are using the same line. Like, there's just so many different variables that it's impossible. But if you can test it out, which you can if you just download like the PS Play app, and it works well, then the Portal will be great. Yeah, thank you.
Throwing flash grenade.
Did I not get a hit marker on that? Oh! Okay, there we go. That was just a warm-up game.
Good work.
I'll get better now. I like how people will be like looking at a thumbnail of thing of Gangs of Sherwood and they'll get a Call of Duty. Oh no. Don't know if you watch. I do watch Wolf Den. I haven't watched his Portal video though. I will watch it. He see, I'm not like a hardware man, you know, like don't come to me for a hardware review. I'm more talking about like the experience of using it and not the actual technical stuff. But no. I trust Wolf Den. I've watched him for years, and he's also on that Nintendo podcast, which stopped. They're actually. Oh no, there. Okay, I'm just gonna play normal. I would trust him. He's not like, I would consider him like a hardware channel now, not a Nintendo channel. Diablo 3 Switch port any good? Sleep. Apparently the Diablo 3 Switch port is fantastic, but I've never played it. If I remember correctly, if Jake is still here, I was having a conversation with him about it and he said he loved it on the Switch. I don't see why it wouldn't run well on the Switch. So, oh, speaking of Diablo, look, I can get Diablo skins, or Skeletor, you know, the famous Call of Duty character, Skeletor. Absolutely ridiculous.
Stun grenade
Okay,
out.
what weapon am I going to use?
Grenade out.
Let's use this.
Don't shoot me, you daft bastard.
Don't shoot me, you daft bastard. That was a good, I was going to say Australian, Scottish accent, wasn't it? Oh, look at this fecker. You fecker. Let me actually put something. I don't. Let me see. Muzzle.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Damage range. This is not the time to be doing this. Movement speed, don't care. To be honest, I think they've pushed the boat out too far with Call of Duty and the customization. The customization is just completely overwhelming.
Enemy spotted.
Oh, I just got knifed. Yeah, no, it probably would be, Jarsh, it probably would be fun with a group of people. Oh, no, it is fun even as a single-player experience. But as a €50 or $50 game, I'm not too sure about it. It is the definition of, if this game is on Game Pass, play it because it's fun. But I wouldn't go any further than that. And if you can pick it up for, like, cheap.
Hostile FAE near your position.
Okay, I'm in concentration mode here. You absolute fecker. Get out of that window. Oh my god. Oh, he's walking around with a riot shield. Get up! Yeah, feck you. To be honest, I respect it. I respect that. Ah. Ooh!
Stitched up.
See, the problem is, I have like a challenge to do with this weapon. That's what I'm using it. I don't particularly like it. Oh, Jesus. When you see the man with the,
I'm reloading.
with the riot shield running at you, it's a scary moment. Yo! Come on out, come mate. Oh, that is terrible. Oh, that is terrible.
Friendly mosquito deployed.
I've lost me skills. This map reminds me of playing playing clan battles back in the day on MW2. My clan was called TKAN, which stood for, and wait for it, the Kick-Ass Noobs. I was a very cool kid, me and my cousin. I was TKAN Inferno, and my cousin was TKAN Funky. He wanted to be TKAN Funky Monkey, but PlayStation didn't allow that many characters, so his name was actually TKAN Funky Monk. So there you go. Just in case you wanted to know how cool I truly am. I think this thing needs like a proper grip on it. Yeah, let me do I even have anything unlocked for it? Edit. And also these menus, these have to be the worst menus in the world. Like ever. I don't think there is a worse set of menus in a game.
Stun grenade.
Just shoot, feck them.
Switching backs.
Enemy UAV active. Hostile
Stun grenade out.
Oh, I'm gonna stun myself. Oh, got him. Oh no, and then I get killed.
Fire.
So is anybody interested in getting the new Avatar game?
Take a seat.
Because I said earlier I like Ubisoft open world games, especially around Christmas when there's like so much going on, and you're sort of like looking for a game that doesn't take too much of your brain that you can still enjoy.
Fire.
And I think that's when Ubisoft open world games are actually like, probably will buy it, or hopefully get a code buy it. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I asked anyway.
Throwing a stun grenade.
Ah. Yeah, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Does anybody actually care about Avatar? That's the next question. Avatar seems like the definition of a tech demo. because I can't remember anything about the first Avatar. The only thing I can remember about the first Avatar was the weird tentacles that they used to like fuse themselves with the, you know, the weird fucking, weird horse things, and they, I don't know, it's quite phallic.
Score's been settled.
And then I never saw the second because, I mean, I had no interest in it. Oh no! Oh god, there's a lot of bullets in this mag. Yeah, another kill. Oh really? The new film was better than the first one? Yeah, I'm sure all the colours and stuff look nice when you're high. Oh no. Don't do drugs, kids, though. Stay in school. I have to like dip my head to check my screen because my camera's in the way. So if you see me looking like this, like a gremlin, it's because I'm looking at my screen. Well, me and Jake, I don't think he's here anymore, but me and Jake were only having a conversation about like the main guy from the first Avatar film and how he's just like the default like military man, and we named like 4 different actors that we thought your man was, and he wasn't any of the actors. Okay, let's see, can I actually upgrade my weapon here? A comb? What does that do? Ammo reserve? No, I don't really think. Okay, well, there we go. We have that weapon fully locked and loaded. Have you played? No, I haven't played Warframe. It's a game that, like, is right up my alley. Like, really is right up my alley. But I think it's like that ship has sailed, you know? I think it's too far gone now. The game is too old and would take too much to get into now, you know? I don't know how much longer my voice has. I'm not Wasteland, you can feck off. I'm not playing that map. That map sucks balls. But yeah, I don't know. I know, I really should. Like, Warframe is a game made for me. I just love action RPGs. Always have, always will. But it just feels like Destiny 2 was hard enough to get into. Yeah. It's like, it's already hard enough to get into them games. That's why, like, every time... Oh, State, I love a State. That's why every time sort of like a new action RPG comes out, I always play it at the start in hopes that it will become something new, or, you know, like sort of the next big thing, and then I will be in from the start, and then it'll be easier to keep it going. Domination.
Capture and keep hold of the objectives.
Oh, having a red dot sight makes such a massive difference.
Friendly UAV online. The enemy has captured 2 objectives. Get them secure.
Okay, well, I don't know where they died from.
Friendly UAV on station.
Ah. Yeah, there's just snipers everywhere. I think you have a friend of mine in your team now, man. Really? Lia Danino? I'm gonna take a guess since that sounds very Brazilian to me. Oh no! Oh, that is terrible shoot. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm an embarrassment.
Enemies taking Bravo.
That would be quite a coincidence
Objectives, take them
if that
back.
is true. Yeah, like that is like literally like a million or like 600,000 to 1 or something.
Look alive!
Field, fight back.
Like look, there's like what am I supposed to do? There's 2 snipers looking down at me here. Just keep
reloading.
shooting them. Just hope.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Here we go!
Yeah, and then there's another sniper. I don't know. 3 snipers looking down the scope.
We're taking Bravo.
Oh please, I just want the kill. That's all. That's all I want.
Coming!
I just want 2 kills.
Look
That's all I
alive.
want.
I need medical.
Securing objective Bravo. We control Bravo. Enemy UAV active.
Like, and there's another sniper. And the second I move, I'm getting
We're
sniped.
taking Charlie.
And he's still there.
Here we go! I'm hit!
Charlie secure.
What the?
Hostile VTOL overhead.
What? Where is he?
Look alive!
I am very confused. Is that a decoy grenade? I don't even know if they exist in this game or not.
Enemy securing Bravo. We're losing Charlie. We control 2 objectives.
Oh shit, I wasn't even paying attention. Reading the chat.
Semtex!
Oh, get him! Ah!
We're taking Bravo.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about this game, like even when I'm playing well, I don't find the game very bingeable. Like I was playing earlier and
The enemy holds 2
I
objectives.
like played an unbelievable game on Favela. That's my favorite map.
UAV online.
And like after I played that really good game, I was like, oh, I'll play one more. And then I had another decent game. And I was like, ah, that's it. I'm kind of done for now.
Here we go!
Whereas like, and I don't think it's. I think it's more me. I don't think it's anything to do with the actual game. I think it's just, I don't know. Well, actually, no. To be honest, I'm not sure if it is because like I could sit there and play Overwatch 2 or Rocket League for hours. So maybe it is the game. But I don't know. I just don't feel like. I just don't feel like COD is very bingeable anymore. Okay, let's whip out the sniper class. I haven't actually used this. Can't imagine it's going to be very good.
Incoming.
Damn. Yahoo! There we go. Oh, okay.
Look alive!
Oh, they've effective shot. Oh yeah, there's one guy that has 32 kills on their team. Nice. Well. I mean, what can we do?
Covering your objectives are under hostile control. Resecure immediately.
Setting job.
Here we go!
Yep, another sniper.
Mission compromised. We failed.
Yeah, to be honest, Cristiano, I've actually been playing a bit of Counter-Strike, which is mad. I don't really play Counter-Strike, and I'm actually having a great time with it. I was playing it with my friends, and now I'm awful at it. Like, I'm terrible. I mean, I got a couple of kills, but I'm slowly learning. But I'm having fun with it here. I genuinely, I don't want to play this game. I've played like 5 games of this today, and that's enough for me. Or no, stop. Yeah. I think, honestly, I think I'll just leave the stream there, to be honest, because, I mean, I usually only stream for 2 hours, and I know there's a lot of people watching, and I really appreciate that, but have to look after my voice because I'm still not fully over COVID, and I don't want to absolutely destroy my voice. So, yeah. I appreciate everybody watching, all the donations as well. It's money that's going towards my next game, which is probably going to be Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, because everybody wants to play that game and everybody cares about it. I don't really think anybody cares about it. But yes, I plan on making a Batman Arkham Asylum review this week. It'll be out at some point this week. Maybe an Arkham City review maybe in the following weeks. And yeah, that's what I plan on doing now. So yeah. Thank you for watching, Jarsh. I don't really think Gangs of Sherwood is fantastic. It certainly isn't bad, but it certainly isn't good. But yeah, thanks everybody. Goodbye.